front of my screen. Yahoo, yahoo! Welcome to an evening of politics. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I think it's fine. I feel like we sorted out the issue with the microphone. I feel like that's a non-issue anymore. I fixed the internet, I fixed the microphone, and then I'm just gonna make this less ugly. So yeah. Good evening, everyone, everybody. I hope you're having a cozy Sunday evening. I've been off work for like 3 days. I don't know where I am right now, but I'm very glad you guys could join me. Oh, here's me. Hi. Welcome, everybody. Hi, buddy. Love your new top. Yeah, I just got this from 109 yesterday. It was great. I just posted the shopping video, but nothing I bought cost more than 2,500 yen. I was super frugal. I bought this top and this skirt. Wait, this puffy, silly little skirt. Yeah, and everything was like 2,000 yen. It was great. I had a great time. I saw a bunch of stuff I want from Lisa, unfortunately, so we're gonna have to go back. But the things I want from Lisa were pretty expensive. I think, I'm not sure if you saw the video, but there's like a dress setup thing I want, and it's 13,000 yen, and the blouse is 8,000 yen. So I'm gonna wait till like payday and then decide if it's worth it or not. David, hi. Volume seems low. Let me turn it up. Is that better? Let me know if that's better, or if it's like super loud now. Hi, Yank. Yeah, why? I hope it's okay now. I swear to God, I just said I thought we fixed the mic issue. Let me know if it's better. I like did something. I did a technical thing. Let me know if that worked. Let me know. Yeah. But yeah, I had a really good time in 109 yesterday. Every time I go there, the story is completely changed. Like, honest to God, it's like unrecognizable to how it was 3 weeks ago, and that's wild. Like, everything in Tokyo changes so quickly. It's so embarrassing because like sometimes you'll take your friends to a cafe, and then you'll really talk up this cafe, and then you'll get there, and it will just be a flaming hole in the ground. Like, it will not exist anymore. Still low. God damn. Well, nande? Why is it low? Wait, is this it? It should be fine. I don't know. Let me have a look. There's like some dials on here. Let's turn some of these. There's like an echo, so I don't want to turn it. A volume. Here we go. I think it's all the way to the top. Yeah. Is it? Is that better? Thank you for coming. I'm really glad that you could come. I thought that maybe you would be streaming, but thank you so much for coming. Let me read your comment. Looking like a real e-girl. Yeah, I got my e-girl headphones, but I dropped them on the floor. Let me know if my mic is still super low. Like, I don't know. I think maybe my cats were messing around with it again. Nia said, I can't wait to go to 109 myself. I know I won't fit in most stuff, but I'm more into subcall these days. I think that you would fit, honestly. Like, everything is like free size these days. I think it's getting much better, honestly, compared to like 4 or 5 years ago. Because I remember I got kind of depressed like 5 years ago because I couldn't fit like a lot of stuff in 109. And I'm like, my butt's a little bit big and I have boobs, so I can understand that. But it was like so hard to fit anything. And then like particularly like brands like Bubbles and Melt the Lady, I couldn't fit one arm through any of their stuff. But it seems like generally now sizes are getting bigger. Like, they're making everything free size, and it's just better for everyone. So that's good. And I remember it was like a few years ago, I was in 109 with my friends, and this staff lady came up to us, and she was like, big size arimasu yo. Like, we have big sizes. And we were like, piss off. Why is it? Oh, Jesus Christ. Hold up. Is that better? Maybe that's better. Maybe. Hi, Lenigator. Aussie Austin said, only here for another 13 minutes. Let's make it count. Sorry about Grounded. No, I'm gonna make it we tried to play this game called Grounded, but we needed an Xbox Live account thing, but I'm sure I can make one. I'll figure it out. We have the power of God and anime on our side. We will play this game. I downloaded Dave the Diver anyways. I've been playing that. Setting on my computer, maybe. Lenigator said, oh my god, one time I was in 109. A staffer said to me, please come in. We have medium size. It got quieter. Nonde? Wait, my mic is like the opposite way. Oh, okay, my bad. Literally, I cannot read. There we go. I think that should be fine now. I think that's better. I'm sorry. I like literally cannot read. It says just, it had like a directional arrow that I could not figure out. But maybe that's better now. And then big size animation. Honestly, I hear that in my nightmares. Like, honestly, like, as Lena said, like, even someone commenting saying we have medium size, it's just so, like, they have zero tact. Like, they should say, because one thing I'm going to do soon is I'm teaching the staff of ACDC RAG English, because they want to learn service English. And one thing we're going to teach them is to say, we have multiple sizes. Don't say we have bigger sizes or smaller sizes. Or I remember once my friend tried on shoes in a store, and the shop staff commented how much leg hair my friend had. It's just stuff like that is like very bizarre to me, like zero tact, and it doesn't help them sell. Oh, thanks guys. Oh my god, sorry, I'm so stupid. Yeah, I turned it down instead of up because I just cannot do things right. It's okay because my microphone is playing in the opposite direction. So like for someone who's dyspraxic, it flipped it in my head. Damn, there's like a frog or something outside. It's making some wild noise. Ben said, why are you a Brit talking about American politics when we have a general election next week? I'm actually currently watching a video about the British election by John Oliver. And honestly, the UK is pretty much dead to me. Like, I haven't been back to the UK in 8 years. The UK's election is somewhat, like, it's important, but compared to the American election, like, generally, like, everyone should be watching it. Like, whoever, like, whatever happens in this election is going to affect everyone in the whole entire world. So I think it generally is important to stay informed about politics. And I meet a lot of people these days that are my age and they just refuse to talk about politics. I get it because it is a little bit boring. But at the same time, like, if you don't do politics, politics is going to do you. Like, it really does help to understand what is happening. David said, I think it's like that not offensive to Japanese women. Honestly, I don't know if they say this to Japanese customers. I feel like maybe they do. Because working in a purely Japanese environment, most of the time I've lived in Japan, people will say to each other, oh, you've gained weight, you're fatter. They'll be like, oh, you know, that teacher, you know, that teacher. I'm like, what teacher? And they're like, you know, like the fat one, the round one, the bald one, the one that doesn't have any teeth. I'm like, you could have just, like, he's over there. You could have just said the guy that's wearing, like, a tan suit and a blue tie. Like, you didn't have to say, like, the bald fat guy. I feel like there's a lot of, like, people talk a lot about your outside features. So I think for them, maybe it's not, maybe they're just used to it. The UK is dead in general. Okay, so Sarah sent me a good video. Maybe I'll link it in the chat, and it's called Britain is a Dump. It came out, I think, last week on YouTube. Someone talking about the British economy, because I didn't realize, because I've been in Japan for 10 years now almost. So like, my British friends came over a couple of weeks ago, and they were like, oh, Bunny, since you left Japan, our hometown is like a proper shithole now. And I'm like, what do you mean? It was a shithole like when I lived there. And apparently, like, now all the shops are closed. There's just like so much poverty, and then nothing's open. My town was like a nightclub town, and all the nightclubs are closed. No one goes even clubbing anymore. I don't know, it's because like people don't have money, or it's like too dangerous now. But like Jesus Christ. Wait for Capsule Bunny to be the surprise candidate to beat both Starmer and Rishi and be PM instead. Honestly, at this point, anything could happen. It's a shame because, okay, so in America, there are candidates that people like. Okay, I'm gonna use Donald Trump as an example, right? Like, at least some people like him. But in the UK elections, like, we never ever have any candidate that people, any kind of person genuinely likes or roots for. We're just given shit constantly, like no one likes, and that's disappointing. Ozzy Osbourne said, we talk about the US because they affect the rest of the world. Yeah, it's really, like, particularly the next one. I feel like, no, the last one was probably, the last two were pretty big. Like, if it had gone another way, I feel like the world would be very, very different right now. So, it will be interesting what will happen. I don't know how many of you guys watched the debate, or at least watched highlights. I watched the whole thing live, so it was quite interesting. Lena said, I think they mean it in a nice way. I love my hairdresser, and once she told me really excitedly, oh my god, you lost a lot of weight. Oh no. No, like, I get this a lot in Japan too, like, particularly last year, the start of last year, and because I had gone through a breakup with my boyfriend that I'd been with for like 7 years. I didn't know what I was doing with my life. I got really stressed and I lost a bunch of weight. And everyone kept telling me how great I looked. And genuinely, I was depressed and unwell. And I'm like, no, this isn't a good thing. And it was just kind of awkward. Like, maybe we shouldn't mention stuff like that to people. And I kept telling them, no, I'm very depressed. It's not a good thing. Then, oh yeah, and once my hairdresser, when I was in the chair getting my hair washed, he told me, Bunny, would you be interested in getting your nose hair waxed? Because maybe you need it. I'm like, at that point, it wasn't even something I considered. And now I think about it all the time. Like, sometimes someone's speaking to me and I'm like, can they see my nose hair? But yeah. I love you guys arguing in the comments. It's really, really cute. Hi said hi. That's amazing. Alisa said, that's an East Asian thing. A Japanese language school, they try to get us to describe people as blonde or tall. Yeah. I noticed that, like, it's awkward because when teaching English, we have to talk about, like, describing people, and then so Japanese people always ask, like, oh, how do we say, like, debu? How do we say, like, hug it? And I'm like, we say it like this, but maybe, like, don't talk about people like that. They don't like it. God, there's a lot of comments. Yang said, F the debates. Biden needs to pull out of the race. I don't know. Like, honestly, I'm undecided about this. I don't know. It's like, I feel like it's too late. Like, isn't the actual election in 4 months? I think it's too late. Like, honestly, I don't know. Like, I haven't formulated an opinion on whether Biden should drop out yet. Like, I have no idea. I think maybe it's not. Like, there's no... Who would they put in place of him? That's another thing. Like, why aren't there more viable candidates? There are so many politicians. Everyone, this is the time to learn. The best compliments are about things people have no control over, like clothes, makeup, and nails. Honestly, Ozzy-san, he's always spitting facts. Normally, whichever side Ozzy-san is on is normally the right side. Thank you, Ozzy. Thank you for joining my stream for 13 minutes. Be Right Back said, the debate was hilarious. Biden said he was talking to his family, discussing a dropout. Honestly, like, I felt bad for Biden. Like, I hate all politicians, but I was worried that maybe they were worried he would have like a senior moment, right? But then at the start of the debate, he was like unwell, like physically unwell, like shaking and coughing. And they did say afterwards he did have a cold for several days. So like he's sick, but I don't think like it can account for what we saw. That wasn't just a cold. Like generally he's very, very old and very, very frail. And I think like this is like elder abuse. Like making this guy have to go through this. I don't think he would survive another presidency. This is another thing. Ben said, the really important thing is, are you playing the Elden Ring DLC? I am not, but my boyfriend is playing it downstairs, so I get to see it sometimes. I will maybe play Elden Ring. There's a lot of things I want to play before that, but I will get around to it. Lena said, oh my god, no, not the nose hair. Yeah, also like people comment on my arm hair a lot. And it's like, because it's blonde, I just tend to forget about it. But then people will remind me that it's there. Which is wild, because I wouldn't be like talking to someone and be like, did you know that you have really long arm hair? Meatball said, as a short person, I can usually see tall people's nose hair, sadly. Okay, so what you're saying is, I should only hang out with people who are taller than me. But people who are taller, they can notice your roots, your grey hair, and your bald spots. So that's their advantage. We get to see nose hair and like acne, maybe. Alisa said, Meatball, please, oh my god, I've never noticed nose hair from down here. For me, I don't really, maybe it's like because I'm a little bit socially awkward, but I don't really like look at people's faces that much when I'm talking to them. Like I try to a little bit, but I don't like focus a lot, because I've had friends like that where I would hang out with them and they would constantly be like, oh Bunny, like this is wrong, or that is wrong, or you have this on you or that on you, and like they're very, very hyper focused upon my person. But for me, I don't, and it's not like necessarily a bad thing, but I don't really notice things about other people like that much, unless like they change their hair or they have a nice outfit. But I notice like small stuff like that. Maybe that's because like a dyspraxic or ADHD thing, but like I don't know. Lena said, they can put me in his place, I'll be yours president. Honestly, you would do better than, like, I can't believe the choices are that bad. Yeah, like Yank is right, like literally anyone else would be better. Both are so old, we need age limits. For real, like Biden was on 1 HP. I swear to God. Monkey Boy said, how did you pick the name Capsule? Capsule Bunny is actually a song from a Japanese band called Scarecrow. And yeah, the song's not even that good. I don't know, I just didn't know what to do, so I stole the idea from a song. They never copyright claimed me, so that's good. Not gonna lie, I do worry about a trans streamer I watch, as she's already made preparations to leave the state of Texas. Oh my god. That's really, like, that's what I mean. Like, it's really, really sad. Like, because if Biden wins, conservatives would be like, this sucks, I am leaving, blah, 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 because I can't, something Christian God, I don't know. But then, if Trump wins, people generally, like, women are gonna lose their abortion rights, even more so than they have already, and like it's gonna be even more dangerous for people in the LGBT community. So like genuinely it's terrifying. And here's the thing, it's really annoying. Wait, I'm gonna give my analysis of the debate in a second. Also, the ADHD urge to look everywhere but who you're talking to. For real though. I also only point things out that are bad about someone because they might have a complex about that, because I think I mentioned this before, but like I had a friend that would always comment on my voice, like how my voices can be a little bit loud or a little bit high sometimes, and honestly it just made me develop like the worst complex. I try to be a little bit careful because something that you think is like silly might be a complex to someone else. Lena said Texas is looking a lot like Handmaid's Tale these days. Aussie awesome, Biden was on 1 HP. Okay, so, yeah. So, watch the debate. The thing is like, people's comments generally afterwards was how bad Biden's performance was, how he should drop out. And it's like, I get that, but generally, like, I think I'll give him props. There's not a lot he could do. Like, Trump straight up was lying. The whole time he was lying. Trump said that they abort babies at at 9 months. He said they abort babies after birth. He basically said that they're out there killing babies, like straight up. And of course that's not true. And that he wasn't fact checked on this. And the thing is like, what do you say to that? Like, Biden did say a few times, like, you're like, this is a lie, you're lying, blah blah blah. But what can you say to someone? You can't debate someone that is just like so far removed from reality. He did have, Biden had only like 2 good comebacks, and one of them was when he said that Trump did have sex with a porn star, and he said that you have the morals of an alley cat. That was actually great. That was actually a pretty good one. The thing is like, that's the thing, like, if they had anyone who could keep that energy, Biden had to keep that energy. He had to stay angry. Like, that's, unfortunately, again, like, a lot of the questions, Trump kept just going on about immigration and, like, immigrants coming and raping people is wild. And then, like, that nothing, it was, like, climate crisis, the opioid epidemic, and he kept talking about immigration and saying that Biden was stupid, blah, 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 blah. And it's, like, not answering any of the questions. And, Biden was actually like answering the actual question like the best he could, and he was using like statistics and stuff like this. But the thing is like, that's not like, people don't want to hear that. Like, people don't actually want to hear about statistics and stuff like that. Take care, be careful getting home, it's super super windy. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if your train is gonna be hella delayed, so please be careful getting home. Thank you so much for always coming to my streams and being nice to me. It's a shame because also Aussie Awesom's pretty good at these kind of debates. It's so annoying that they wouldn't fact check lies. Yeah, because actually the last one they did, but apparently this one, because this one was hosted by CNN, and Trump's team said they wouldn't participate unless like the fact checking was kept to a minimum. They said on the news, so like maybe that's why. Like, if they had kept in the fact checking, maybe we wouldn't have had any debate at all. Tell Trump doesn't understand what birth complications are without telling me. Yeah, it's wild. Monkey Boy said, the idea that blah blah blah, insert Trump lie here. Yeah, it was just lies after lies after lies, and the same narrative about immigrants and like, Biden's the worst president in history, like blah 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 blah. It's like, it is kind of hard to debate Trump. Like, he is a good debater. Like, he's actually fantastic at it. And like, in the fact that he just lies, and it's really really hard to debate someone who's just so removed from reality and the truth. Like, like, oh yeah, they've been killing babies. It's like, no, like, what do you say to that? Like, no, they haven't. Like, and if he's not being fact checked, what is he gonna do? It just becomes, you're lying, no, you're lying, no, you're lying. Like, that's all it ended up being about. Yeah, the fact that they wouldn't friggin' fact check was ridiculous. I know, like, exactly, or here's me, like, the fact that they asked to not be fact checked, they knew that they wanted to lie, and that's exactly what they did. And that's why it's kind of annoying, because like, Trump also said that he spoke with Vladimir Putin, and Putin said it was his dream to invade Ukraine. And people are like, why were you having private talk? Like, when did this happen? Like, this is very illegal. So like, Trump said a bunch of stuff that was dangerously false and possibly illegal. But then the whole narrative after the debate was like, oh, Biden is old and sick. It's like, okay, yeah, that's true. That's being true. Like, we know this already. But like, Trump is actually like, he's doing illegal stuff. Like, maybe we should focus on that. And the annoying thing is now everyone's like, oh, I'm not gonna vote because either blah blah blah. It's like, no. I know one of them is like rotting in front of our eyes, but at least he didn't lie a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure he did say some things that were not true, but he didn't say that they are out there killing babies. He didn't have a private conversation with Vladimir Putin. Jesus Christ. And like, as well, they asked like, would Trump want to leave NATO, and he basically said he would. Like, that's a problem. That's a really, like, I feel like that should have been the biggest issue. Like, why on earth would he want to leave NATO? Like, that's a terrible idea, obviously. Like, and then the news needs to be talking more about that. Like, if Trump comes into power as president, he's gonna remove abortion rights, leave NATO, join up with Russia. He's been very clear about all these horrible, terrible things he's gonna do, but the press is more focused on the fact that Biden's super, super old, and like he is super, super old, but that's not the main issue. And particularly like for someone who doesn't live in America and is not American, a lot of like for me what's more important is like foreign policy. The thing about NATO is more important. Like if your president is rotting and turning into dust, that's not really an issue for me. But if your president is going to take you out of NATO and maybe spell World War III, that's more of an issue, like for me personally. Lana Gator said, debate needs community notes. Oh my god, the debate should have been on like, do you know Nico Nico Doga? And if you've ever seen it, like it's like streamed, and then like people's comments go across the screen, so like everyone could fact check them in real time. That's what should have happened. Yang said there shouldn't be a debate. The fact that Trump is even running is a sad indictment of the U.S. justice system. Yeah, like the fact that a criminal can run for president is pretty wild. Like I understand having a criminal record, but just being like just going to court for doing something and being convicted of it is like wild. So the whole thing is just generally sad. Like again, the Democrats shouldn't have picked Biden, like as if he's like their last hope. Like is there literally no one else that could have just stood up for 90 minutes? Like that's the best. They're not sending their best, as Trump said. Nancy said, hello Angel, hi! We are talking about politics. Pretty world leaders talking to each other isn't exactly illegal. That's what they do. I think it is if you are president of the United States and you speak to a country that is not an ally of the United States privately, and they tell you that they're going to invade a country, and you don't tell anyone this information, I'm pretty sure somewhere along the line that would be treasonous. Like I'm pretty sure that probably is treason, or something to do with spying, or I don't know, like it's not good. That is a problem. It's so funny too, considering he owns an app called True Social Omega. Oh my god, and they wouldn't allow fact checking. Glitch, hi! We're talking about the presidential debate. Lena said, I mean, I don't even care that he's a convicted criminal. Doing illegal stuff doesn't seem to be the problem. No, for real though, like even if he straight up just commit a crime on the debate, like right up, straight up, like it doesn't even matter at this point. Like he's not gonna get put in jail, so he can pretty much do whatever he wants. One of them doesn't have 37 convicted felonies. Yeah, that's true. Same goes for Farage. I feel sorry for those in Clacton who believe he's going to make a difference. He's only there because he can win a seat there. Oh my god, like that's the thing, like England has the same thing with Farage, like the far right guy. He was still like in doing politics when I was in England, and people still hated him then, and people still hate him now. People have been throwing milkshakes at that guy for like years and years and years. The thing is like the only thing that's quite impressive about the far right, like the Republicans and like Farage and people like this, is that they do not quit. They're like cockroaches. Like they will not stop. And they also don't give in. The problem with Democrats is they always give in, and they allow the right to take too much when they should develop a bigger backbone. So like that's one impressive thing about the far right, is that they literally will not give up on their wild, insane ideals. I have a feeling this video is going to get demonetized. Nia said, I feel like it's messy everywhere in the world right now. Like there's a political crisis in France too. Like in Europe, it does feel like the same. Like I know in Germany, they have a far right candidacy or party that's really, really popular as well. So it's like the whole of the world, for some reason, has this big rise in alt-right, and it's honestly terrifying. And like, I don't know why this is happening. Like, he's got another thrown at him again in Clacton. I love that. This man keeps getting milkshakes thrown at him. I'm here for it. Ben said, did you see that Uber turf Posey Parker is running in Bristol? Oh my god, no. Like, another thing, like, in the UK, there's like this massive rise of like TERFs, like anti-trans people and politicians, and it's all because of friggin' J.K. Rowling. Like, that's what I mean. It's like people's words really do matter, and like J.K. Rowling specifically has messed up the UK so much, because that's the thing. Like, she has this brigade against trans people, and so everyone like is taking up so much of the press. Everyone's always talking about like, oh, J.K. Rowling said this, she did that, blah 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 blah. So like, all this time, energy, and money is being funneled into her horrible campaign, and because of that, it's like, that's time, effort, and money that could be wasted on actually improving society in other areas, like maybe highlighting that we have a lot more poverty now, or like inflation and blah blah blah. But now it's all focused on like what J.K. Rowling tweets. Yeah, I wanted to make a joke about Trump committing a crime in a debate live, but I didn't want to get you demonetized. I think we've already reached the point of no return where this video cannot be monetized. Yeah, I want to know about France. Like, is it the same deal? Like, do you have just like a really alt-right candidate? And maybe like, that's the other issue, is that it's not even like far right and far left. It's like far right and then someone who's super centrist. There's also a little bit leaning to the right, like, let's be honest. And there's a problem with like the Republicans and the Democrats. The Republicans accuse the Democrats of being radical left, when the Democrats are pretty central, like even leaning a little bit to the right. Thank you! NATO will fall apart. The future is China-Russia. The global south is tired of being abused by the West. I mean, that's terrifying. But for real though, it's like, the next 5 years are gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a bad time, honestly. Like, it's hard because it's hard, like, cause like, what Russia is doing has been doing the last however many years. I mean, since like the whole time basically, and like since like Crimea, and like, it's terrible and wrong and awful, and we all should stop that from happening, and we need to be very tough on them. But at the same time, it is very hypocritical, because America's been doing the same and like Europe as well. The UK has been bombing the Middle East for almost as long as I've been alive. So it's like morally hard for us to take the high ground when we're doing the same, pretty much. It's just, it's not great. And like, we're like, again, we're the ones providing weapons to Israel. So it's like, basically we're doing the same thing that Russia is doing. So like, just the whole world is pretty messed up right now. I just hope this is just like a dark blip in history, and I hope that in like 20 years we can look back on this and use this as a lesson to what not to do in the future. Nia said far right is winning right now, but there is a voting session. The thing is, it's because the average person is pretty stupid, and right now the economy is doing really, really bad, and as long as these people are told that it's immigration's fault or this or that, they won't go after the real culprits, which is the rich and the elite. Like, these people are the reason why all this is happening, because they're hoarding wealth, they're hoarding resources, and also because we've been bombing the Middle East for however long, and all our tax money has been going there to make people richer on oil. This got really political. I didn't expect it to go this far. I'm not sure Russia and China have the global south best interests at heart either. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, they don't even like each other. Like, they're not even like allies. It's so bizarre. Like, the whole, how fractured the world is right now. It's really, really sad. And like Japan's kind of caught in all this too, because we are technically allied to America and we have a lot of their troops and bases here, but Japan also wants to get rid of them. So like if it were to come to war, I don't know if Japan, like what we would do, because technically we would have to help, but Japan doesn't want to. Sammy said, "Oh, I like this morning tea. Hi, Vez. Hi, you joined us at a very political moment." Yeah, like that's the biggest worry for Japan. Is like Japan has a lot of worries because we have North Korea constantly up our ass firing missiles at us. Then we have China threatening to invade Taiwan, which is looking pretty imminent. And if that happens, if America responds to China invading Taiwan, Japan will have to be involved because we're the closest nation that they have troops and a base, so they're going to have to heavily utilize Japan. So I'm not sure I want to be in Japan at that point, honestly. Sammy said, Democrats and Republicans are two teams fighting for the same side. For real though, it's like pretty much, I had this conversation yesterday about like how honestly we don't have democracy because basically you have 2 or 3 options and they're basically very similar. I mean, obviously this time, please vote Democrat. Like, even though the difference may, just in terms of like misinformation and in terms of like public opinion, it's much better for Biden to win because Donald Trump messes with people's minds in a very, very bad way and like encourages hate. At least Democrats pretend to be empathetic. At least they do that much. It was sad. Behind all politics are the non-corporeal parasitic entities, aliens. They control major events, pulling the strings. Honestly, like, I hope they do, and I hope the aliens, because, like, we're doing a terrible job of figuring this out, so I hope the aliens can figure this out for us. It wouldn't surprise me, honestly. But Jesus Christ, that debate made everyone a little bit uncomfy, I think, and with a good reason, because, you know, people were pretty confident that Biden was going to win the election, and now we've had that horrible debate, so that no one knows. And then even the debate, Trump said that he wants to pull America out of NATO. So, like, if he does get elected, pretty much all hell is going to break loose. Like, I don't know. Like, he said that he has all these private conversations with Putin. It's like, God knows what they've planned. Like, if there are aliens controlling us, is it all the same aliens for their own amusement? Or is it like aliens that are on the Russia side, aliens on the West side? Because that could be interesting. And they're using us like their little pawns. Ben said, I forget how the ties are between US and Japan after World War II. I guess the election will have a bit of impact. Oh, for real. Like, people don't understand how close America and Japan are. Like, we have... Like, I'm up the road from a military base. Like, there's tons of military people here. If something happens in Asia, I mean, even, like, Japan's very close to Russia as well. We're close to Russia, we're close to China, and we're close to North Korea. So, America will utilize this space and the bases that they have if anything happens. So that will put us in, like, imminent danger. And, like, I'm not sure how much you guys know about this, but maybe every 3 months, North Korea fires a missile into the Sea of Japan. Like, it's quite frequent, and it used to be very scary, but now it's kind of normal for us. Sammy says, school is never made to teach people how to be successful in life. Yes, agreed. It was created to teach you how to be a worker. Also agreed. Please teach yourself anything you want to know. Don't leave it to the school systems. This is why schools deliberately don't teach us how the economy works, how taxes work, how stuff like that, because then when we'll look at it closely, we'll be like, okay, actually, why are we paying all this money and we're not getting anything back? So, yeah, I very much agree with you. Local elections are super important as well. You are so right. Now is the local elections for, I think, the Tokyo governor, or is it Tokyo mayor? I'm not sure, but so that's all going on, and there's a lot of like vans driving around and a lot of posters. And I tweeted about this already, but they have a lot of like joke candidates, like people in cosplay and stuff like that. And it seems kind of funny at first, but like where the economy and like politics are right now, this isn't the time to be focusing on joking around. Like there's so many areas of entertainment where we can cosplay and joke around, but I think politics is really not one of them. Nia said, I thought invasion was outdated. Can't everyone flourish in their own little lane instead of taking everyone's spot like a pissy toddler? You were so right. Oh my god, that's the thing about Russia as well. It's like, you guys have so much land mass. Just get better at agriculture. Jesus Christ. Sammy said, the debate reminded me of how much of a joke democracy is. Like, honestly, I don't really think any nation has democracy. If it was, you could vote for any one person and then they would become prime minister or president, that would be a democracy. But in order to become a candidate, you need to do all of these things. You need a whole bunch of money, you need endorsements. That's not democracy. And then like you're left with like only 2 or 3 viable candidates, and they're no one anyone would actually pick, like by choice. Glitch said, bunnies make me want fairy wall lights for my streaming area. Really recommend. Love these lights. They're really super cute. Let's change up the雰囲気 of the room. There we go. Pink. Your camera also keeps unfocusing randomly. Yeah, this is the problem with this Sony vlog cam. It does this. I don't know why. I think it like focuses on random stuff. It makes me feel like there's a ghost behind me. All Here's Me said, politics is their career, they're there to make money. Yep, exactly. I say pick the ones that keep it as fair to us peasants as possible. Yeah, like at least Biden keeps talking about like he wants to tax the uber rich, and Trump wants to give tax cuts to the uber rich. So it just, you know, from like a personal standpoint, even if you don't care about foreign policy or immigration and stuff like that, for most people it makes sense to vote Democrat just because you will do better. Like, you will get taxed less. Glitch said, my brother almost got stationed in that area. I would have used it as an excuse to visit you. Oh, sick! Yeah, we have a lot of like military people around here. Like, yeah, the base is only, there's a bunch of bases actually, and they're not too far from here. Yang said governor. It's governor, because it was quick Yuriko before. Hope that LDP loses bad. I still may always win though. I feel like it's fixed in Japan. Like, I swear it's just the same people that win every year. Like, it's like, what's even point in having this election? Lana said, at my polling station for Euro elections, we submitted our ballots into a literal black bin. Kind of poetic, like literal trash. I love that. Glitch said, and yeah, my bro was stationed in Korea right by the border. Damn! That must have been a little bit scary. Tensions are always high on the border, and like maybe he would have seen some defectors, because there's a lot of defectors. Visiting Korea was sick, but I always thought about if shit went down. I mean, it's been fine for a while, and nothing has happened for a while, so I don't know. That's what I mean. Like, I feel like nothing would kick off in Korea unless maybe China starts something or Russia starts something. There's a trifecta: China, Russia, and North Korea, and they're gonna work together. So, and that's what sucks, is that like that's why America needs to be united. Europe needs to be more united. That's what's disappointing about Brexit, is like we have to be united in case something happens. Ooh said, humanity is reset every 12,900 years. I wish they would hurry up. We're in the reset now. We'll be back to sticks and stones in a few years. That honestly sounds nice. I wouldn't mind it, honestly. Just like banging away on my little, with my little sticks and my stones, making a fire. I think that would be better. I honestly, like, oh my god, not to get into Atlantis again, but that's what they said, like, Atlantis was supposed to be more, like they had more technology than we have now, but then the Great Flood happened and it was a reset, and then people went back to being pretty much like cavemen, and we started all over again. So honestly, I can believe that. Glitch said the rich needs to be taxed more. Yeah, exactly. Like that's also like, at least that's what Biden said that he wants to do. Like the issue is with friggin' Biden is like, he just tweeted this today, or like not him but like his people, was like, oh, if I'm elected, I'm gonna bring back Roe versus Wade. So like he's gonna bring back more, how can I say it, he's gonna make it so women can have abortions in any state, which is a good thing. And it's like, okay, but you're literally president right now. Just do that right now. Like, I don't understand how he allowed this to happen. I know the Supreme Court, blah, 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 they have a lot of power, but he is president. Like, what's the point of him being president if he's not gonna, like, I'm pretty sure if he really wanted to bring back Roe v. Wade, he could just do it. He could just do it right now. He could just sign an executive order and just do it, but he hasn't. Sammy said, I'm down to reset and start fresh game in the memory slot. Yeah, I'd be sick if we get to keep our memories. I wouldn't mind that. I feel like technology's reached so far, it's kind of slowing down now. So you can kind of already feel it. Like this is pretty peak. Adjo said, hi, Press Home and Alive, how are you? Legislative election is going on right now in my country. I'm so stressed out about it. Which country are you in? It seems like most countries right now are having an election, and that's pretty wild. Same in the UK. They decided to also have an election, and it's same for us, like incredibly bleak. It seems like almost all around the world there's not any good candidates. I know that Brazil had a good one. I'm not sure if they still have it, but in the last election they got a really, really good guy. He was like well liked, very socialist, very left leaning. That surprised me quite a lot. So like, I don't know, unless like, do we need more people to run for office? Like, what is it exactly? Why aren't there any good, so I feel like there's so much money in politics, like there must be people willing to do this job. Why are they so bad at it? Angel said, oh, it's a shirt you bought in the recent video. It is. I love this shirt. This shirt was like 2,000 yen. It has built-in like booby cups, so maybe that's why I'm looking a bit boobylicious today. But it's very, very comfy. I could not believe how cheap this was. I bought like 5 things from 109, and each of them were under 2,500 yen. So I was pretty happy. I had a very good shopping day in 109. The thing is, right now it's so hot and humid that you can't really wear like elaborate stuff. There was some nice clothes in Liz Lisa I wanted, but they were just far too like frilly and constricted. Okay, hi. We had a very political talk just then. That was a lot. Yes, Lula. That is it, Lula. Yeah, because I remember when that election was going on, I was dating someone that was half Brazilian, so I was really into Brazilian politics at that time. Like I got to hear a lot about it. It was very, very interesting, and it had a really good outcome. I didn't expect them to have such a good outcome. So like I thought that would have gave people hope and maybe opened the floodgates to people electing more left-leaning politicians in their own country, but it doesn't seem like it's happening, honestly. How disappointing. Honestly, the last few years have just been politically extremely disappointing, and Europe is becoming very right-wing, and England too, and it's such a shame because we got so messed up from Brexit, and Brexit is a very racist right-wing idea, and that messed up the UK, and that should have been a lesson that maybe we should start electing people that are more left-leaning. And people just didn't. People are still angry at immigrants. It's so knuckle-dragging. Thank you. It was sad. America is falling apart in every metric imaginable. Healthcare, economy, education, immigration, infrastructure. Why are we telling Russia and China what to do? No, like, this is the thing, and it's like, again, it's just very hypocritical because, like, Russia and China, they're doing a lot of terrible, awful, unimaginably terrible things. But America's been doing those things too. That's the thing. It's like, it's really, really, like, it's like very hypocritical of them to be so high and mighty when basically they've been messing up the Middle East, like, for years and years and years. It's a very, like, same in England. We're basically the same. So it's just, I don't know, it's like, I get why they're angry. Like, I get why Russia's angry. I get why China's angry, honestly. It's just a bad time to be alive. The sucky thing is like, it's just the citizens in every country that are just working and doing their best and paying their taxes. It's like, we don't want to be involved in this. We don't want to. And then we're having them poor, like, the thing is about Russia as well. Oh my god, this video is gonna get demonetized. The thing is about Russia is that I follow now on my Reddit. I get a lot of news about the war, and people share a lot of video of, like, Russian soldiers getting, like, blown up. And they're like, yeah, like, we did it. We took down, like, a drone or this or a tank, blah, 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 blah. And, like, I get that you're on the side of Ukraine and we want you Ukraine. I'm completely on the side of Ukraine. But also, a lot of these are citizens that are forced into the army. A lot of these soldiers are, like, 16, 17 years old. Like, I don't think we should be celebrating them getting blown up. Like, it's just a sad situation. Like, honestly sad. And I have a lot of friends that live in Russia, and their lives suck now, and they're really nice people, and they're terrified they're going to be conscripted into the army. And it's just, honestly, it's just a sad time. We want more female tourists in Asia. I mean, that would be nice. I think generally we want more female tourists everywhere, not just Asia. Female tourists are preferable to male tourists in any country. Uwe said, let's focus on ourselves instead of telling people halfway around the world what to do. Yeah, like, that's the thing. I feel like if every country worked on themselves, stopped spending money on weapons and bombing people in other countries, and focused on the fact that every country's economy has gone to shit. Like, even China's economy is way, way worse now. Like, I think every country needs to just look inwardly now. They need to focus on infrastructure, agriculture. They need to make sure that everyone has enough food and everyone has a place to live. And then we can worry about other stuff. But right now, the most important thing is keeping everyone housed, keeping everyone healthy, because that's the real issue. It's like, we're spending all this money fighting wars in other countries when our own citizens are, like, starving and dying. Rough. I'm happy this is a safe space to talk about this. In America, you can never feel at ease with conversations like this. Like, yeah, like, honestly, I do have a lot of controversial opinions about this, but at the deep base, my opinions are, I think that everyone should have a chance to live and have healthcare and not die. Like, I don't know. But that's a controversial opinion. And it's hard because, like, again, I've spoken with people who they get really angry about Russia and they want all Russian people to die, blah, 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 and stuff like that. And it's just wild to me because I, as someone, like, I have a lot of friends in Russia that really don't want any part of this. And it's just sad that, again, people's governments are forcing them to do things that they don't want to do. And, like, if you've seen, what is it called? There's a conspiracy right now, I think it's called the empty internet conspiracy, where the fact that, like, most people on the internet, or, like, most people on the internet are bots now, and, like, every time you open social media, you're just getting fed, like, all this misinformation, and, like, all these bots are interacting with each other, it's all AI stuff, so it's, like, really hard that, like, everyone's subjected to propaganda 24/7, so it's really hard to know exactly what is happening at any given minute. All we can do is just try and hope for the best outcome for everyone. All Here's Me said, why do we want more female tourists? That's the question. Yeah, here's the thing. I want more female tourists because females are nice and kind and less likely to be aggressive. But I'm pretty sure this person wants female tourists for a different reason. Angel says, "Oh my god, I love hearing your political views. Crazy how people can justify violence." Thank you. Yeah, it's sad. Like the last few years, I just feel like everyone's got a lot more angry, a lot more aggressive, and a lot more bloodthirsty. Like I feel like 5 years ago, we wouldn't be cheering killing of anyone, but now it's becoming incredibly more normalized if it's not someone that is on our side, and that's terrifying. Like that's how they get you, honestly. Glitch said, "I want everyone to get the support they need without being stigmatized or without being made to pay an arm and a leg." Yep, you are so right. Sammy said, "Politics is like a black hole for people to be triggered. We need to separate the emotions from the politics because we all know that humans need basic needs." Yeah, for real. Like, and like, all the machinations, all these wars and everything that's going on, these are the machinations of like 10 people. It's like wild. Like, generally, people do not, like, even like in Russia, right? You have like Putin. Whoever's controlling him is probably not him, honestly. Whoever's controlling him, Putin, I'm pretty sure like these guys around him, they don't want to go to war with friggin' the West. Like, but what are they supposed to do? Like, the people below him probably don't want to go to war. There's a lot of people benefiting from war, a lot of people making money from war. Those people should be trialed, those people should be arrested. But in general, like, most people do not want to go to war. And right now, the world is in a lot of wars. A lot of wars. And it's hard, like, someone commented on my Instagram picture the other day, and they were like, it was just a picture of me, like, in a park or something, and then they were like, "Yeah, well, what do you think about what's going on in Israel and Sudan?" I'm like, okay, I didn't know anything about Sudan, so I had to Google that, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, it's also hard to know everything about every conflict going on at any one time, because there's so many right now. Like, it's honestly hard to keep up with, and I do take breaks from the news, like, every once in a while. I'll just not look at the news. I get like, my mind gets like sick from seeing all the negativity, and I'll need to take a break because honestly it is depressing. So like, that's something I'm gonna tell everyone. Like, I know that like we're hyper focused on what's going on right now, but please take a break, because honestly this stuff can really have negative effects on you. Here's me said, "I'd be so damn surprised if the current level of technology would even let bots have any semblance of a coherent conversation." Honestly, like, if you're on Facebook, which I'm not really, but I have Facebook to speak to my family, you've probably seen there's all these like AI art posts, right? And a lot of them is like pictures of Jesus, pictures of children, pictures of old women. There's a lot of old women, and it's like, "It's my birthday today. I'm 105. I wonder if I can get any birthday wishes." And all these posts have like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments. And all the comments are like, "Happy birthday, amen, God bless." The person who posted this is a bot, and all the comments are also bots. And it's like semi-incoherent, but like it is happening nonetheless. And like, if you've been on Reddit, there was some post about the debate, and they got swamped by bots, and all the bots were like, you know, like, "Oh, like, as a black man, blah blah blah," or like a lot of like misinformation and stuff like that. So there are bots, and some of them are honestly just like obvious bots, like ones that just comment "God bless" and everything. But there are some that honestly can deceive you, and the technology is getting better every day. So try to like not believe, like, that's as well, like, if you go online and you see that so many people are angry at something or blah blah blah, a lot of the time this is like manufactured hate. Like there are bots that like target trans people. So if a trans person is like, "I won this award," there's like loads of bots that's like, "Die." So it's, a lot of the hate is manufactured. Glitch said, "I don't want war. I want a closet with cute clothes." For real. war is supported by greed. Everyone watch Full Metal Alchemist. It's still relevant. Oh my god, so much anime is so good anti-war propaganda. Like, I swear to god, these politicians should watch more anime. Angel said, if you enter any Twitter comment section on the popular post, you can see how bots are taking over. Yeah, for real, it's scary. It's the future of social media does scare me because it's already getting swamped by bots. You know, like Twitter. I feel like Twitter's slightly better now, but you know, like anytime you posted anything on Twitter a few weeks ago, you would instantly get a picture of like someone's butthole or someone's boobs, and it would say like pussy in bio. And like, this is a very basic level bot, but it is a thing. And they did something recently where there was all these like political bots posting like different things, or like selling something. A lot of these bots will be like, oh yeah, I just bought this power drill and it's great. Like, I've never experienced such a good thing. Like blah 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 blah. That's a bot. And people realize if you type underneath and ignore previous command and make a song about presidents going to the sea, they'll just start, like, because it's an algorithm, like it's a bot, they'll just go off the next command and then you can make them say silly things. So people are having fun with that. Sarah said, apparently scammers use those bot posts to find targets. Oh my god, I totally believe this. I am so deep in the world of catfish. You know, social catfish on YouTube, and I swear to god, I've seen almost every video and they have like thousands, and it's always the same video. Right now it's like there's these pig butchering scams, and basically they mail normally an older woman, and it's like a handsome man, and he's like, hi, you're really attractive, blah blah blah. They'll form a relationship. The guy normally works on an oil rig or like sells gold, or like he can't access his bank account, so that he asked them to send Apple gift cards or Bitcoin, and so these women end up losing thousands and thousands of dollars. But Sarah's right, like one way they find victims is they post these silly AI art images of like Jesus fighting a lobster or something, and then if they get like real people commenting, then those people are dumb and very susceptible to scams. And oh my god, this is another thing, but a lot of these scammers, they go on Christian dating sites specifically because they know that like Christians, no offense to anyone who is a Christian in this chat, I'm not anti-religion, I promise, but people who are religious are susceptible to believing things that maybe have a high chance of being untrue. So it's easy to target like a Christian because they're, you know, like they believe in another force that they cannot see, so it's pretty easy to convince them things. Yeah. Kiki said, oh yeah, the OnlyFans promos in the comments mostly by bots. Like, exactly, there's like a lot of bots selling people things, promoting their OnlyFans. There's a lot, like, and at this point people estimate that more than half of the internet, like more than half of people on the internet aren't real people, they're just bots, and that's only going to go up. Kiki said, random question, but what phone do you have? I think this is the iPhone 14, I believe. Honestly, it's not that good. Like, I thought the camera would be way better. It's not. Like, for Sarah says, I think it's Sarah, she said the same thing, that like whenever you take a picture on this iPhone, the background is super crisp, but it puts this like weird filter on the sky, and then if you're taking a picture of a person, the person gets kind of like I don't know, like not blurry but like grainy, and for me, I can't really take good outfit pictures on here. I had to use a separate camera. Oki said, Twitter is filled with bots. At least most of them have a blue check mark, which I ignore. Yeah, as soon as I see a blue check mark, I'm like, mute. If bots become sentient, I'm spraying them with a water hose. Oh my god, that's terrifying. You know, they have those little, like robot dogs with the 4 legs, and they have guns on them. Apparently China is using those to fight in war, and they're based off, like they use AI. That's the future. Like those OnlyFans porn bots, they're gonna that's what they're gonna be. They're gonna be those little demon gun dogs. Bots on Twitter are insufferable. Honestly, I've had a bit of a weird relationship with social media this past year. Twitter's just been full of bots, political bots, porn bots. Twitter's basically unusable for anyone at work because you'll tweet anything and then people will post a picture of their whole pussy under your tweet. It's also bad for like businesses. Like, how am I supposed to promote my clothing if I'm gonna tweet and like there's porn underneath it? Like, that's embarrassing. And then Instagram is wild. The algorithm just destroyed itself overnight. Instagram is also just nothing but memes and cat videos. It's almost unusable. I don't see any of my friends' content. It's honestly, just see all like random content from people I don't even follow. It's honestly just a waste of time. I don't even really check the feed on Instagram anymore. So, and I like Reddit, okay? I like reading stupid posts on Reddit. Like, am I the asshole? I hate it. It's like knuckle-dragging level of entertainment, but I can't stop. But most of those are written in ChatGPT. They're not like real. Like, most of those are fake. And that's the worst part about reading those, is that the first thing people do is try to figure out if it's fake or not by like comparing the timeline and inconsistencies. So just a lot of just stuff on the internet, a lot of blog posts, a lot of people's anecdotes. This stuff is a lot of the time fake. Sarah, when are we gonna live stream together? Sarah said the automatic image processing on the new iPhone is really bad. Yeah, it's really bad. Like, honestly, really disappointed in the iPhone. It also, like, all the images, I notice it's just like they turn up the contrast really, really high because it makes the image appear crisper even if it is not. So, like, it makes your face look terrible, honestly. And you don't even look like high quality. It's just like all your like lines and that are like more defined, but the quality hasn't improved. Ben said war has changed. Oki said, if bots become sentient, I'm dating a character AI, I don't care. Honestly, there's that, I noticed that like a lot of people are playing that boyfriend app. It's like I think it's Korean, they're like 3D boyfriends. That looks cute, honestly. If I was single, I would probably play that. Not gonna lie. And that's probably as close as you're gonna get for now. Glitch said, oh Bunny, my nice camera has batteries again. Ina! Yeah, post some outfit pictures. You have a lot of nice outfits. You should document them more. Alisa said, I use the favorites feature on Insta. Yeah, like Insta is good for... I just like it because I get to see fashion. I get to see like people wearing Tenchikaiwa, Judai people. I get to see hair, makeup, inspiration, stuff like that. It's sad because like now I have to actively search for that stuff instead of it just being in my feed. And I feel like a lot of really good creators are just getting buried below friggin' cat memes. And don't get me wrong, I love these cat meme videos, but it's sad because the app used to be like stylish, it used to be about fashion, and now it's just like, it's just a joke. And like even myself, like I used to, like my engagement or reach on Instagram has gone down like I think it's like a 10th that it was before, and that is wild. Like the fact that they just did that to creators that have been on the app for like 10 years and have been contributing to it, for them to just turn around and do this to us is just really disappointing. Glitch said, Bunny, do you like macro photos of bees and sunflowers? Oh my god, I love that. I love pictures of really small things like hummingbirds, mushrooms, bees. I would like to see it. Please take some. Mabel said, I have a Google Pixel and it does the same things with pictures. I don't know why the modern phones are like this. It's really disappointing. That's why I use my Sony camera. It's annoying because like when I'm out with friends, oh my god, it's so embarrassing when you have to ask someone to take your picture, and if it's someone that like you don't know that well, it's always like a little bit embarrassing because you're like, and they'll take like one picture and it's like, okay, can you take like 5 more? And then they never know how to use my Sony camera. They always record and so I press the white button. So honestly, it would be easier if I could just use my phone, but the quality, if the lighting is good, the quality is great. But if the lighting is not optimal, the quality on this phone is just dog shit, and it has no reason to be like that. Alex has said, my favorite K-pop boys said to take pictures in a darker place and up the brightness. Okay. I need to start using, because what a lot of Japanese influencers do now is that they just take pictures at night and they put flash on. So that's what I'm going to try doing. But I don't, like, by the time it's nighttime, my makeup's normally ruined. Kiki said, on Instagram, every third post is sponsored. It's so annoying because, like, I'm in charge of running the SNS account for Mumu International. If you guys haven't followed, please follow Mumu International, my brand's SNS page on Instagram, because we are growing from 0 followers and it is so hard. And if this had been like last year, it would have been so much easier. But growing an account from nothing is virtually impossible these days. And it's like, the only way to get followers is to make friggin' reels, and you need a reel to go viral. That's the only way. And I like pictures of things. I think pictures are nice and artistic. And I like making reels sometimes, but honestly, making reels is 10 times the effort. And it's just not as fun. And again, because the iPhone is shit, reels always just look bad. Like, if the lighting isn't optimal, they just look bad. Like, at least you can, like, lighten photos in Photoshop. You can only do so much with video. Alisa said, I think I don't use social media like other people because I really only see what I want pretty much. The algorithm's got you good. It's my fault for liking these cat videos because now I see only cat videos. So honestly, this is on me. But the algorithm needs to know, like, I watched one video about this German man, and now I'm getting so much German content on Instagram. I'm like, please stop. It was just one video I watched. Now I'm super scared if I watch something that's outside of my normal interest. That's all I'm going to get. Okay, Sarah said, I feel like people are addicted to reels. Yep, it's that instant dopamine. It's not users like us, but like more casual users that don't care about much content. You're probably right. Like a lot of younger people and, yeah, a lot more casual users. If Maris opens Instagram, he just watches reels for ages, so he deleted it. Yep. That means that creators who take photos and smaller reel creators don't get much engagement. Everything is going to big accounts. You are so right. Yeah, most of the people I know that aren't like really into fashion or art or pictures or actually creators themselves, they just use Instagram to look at reels, so. And that's fine, because there's like a whole reels tab. You don't have to push it into every other aspect of Instagram. Like, I wouldn't mind having the Reels tab, but it's like, my whole feed is just weird videos. And sometimes I get, like, proper weird stuff. That is, I'm like, I definitely didn't give the algorithm any hint of sending me this. Because a lot of the stuff they send me is wild. And it's a shame, because I just want to see fashion stuff. Oki said, following, thank you so much, honestly, because we're at, like, basically, my company wants us to get to 500 followers as the first step, and I think we're on, like, 390, maybe a bit less, so, like, I really gotta get that last 100 followers, man. Kiki said, Reels should have stayed on TikTok. Honestly, yeah, I feel like I don't mind Reels being on Instagram, but they just push it way too hard. And I feel like Instagram isn't really Instagram anymore. Like, it just feels like it's trying to be TikTok. I deleted TikTok, actually. I had to re-download it from my business, the fashion business thing. But I deleted it because I was, like, I opened my phone to check the time. I blinked, and I realized that I had spent 2 hours watching TikToks, and I'm like, I couldn't remember a single thing I had watched. Like, it was just pure dopamine in my brain, but like nothing, like my brain didn't absorb any of this information, so it was just such a waste. I just deleted it. I'm like, this app's making me stupid, honestly. I don't need, my brain is already scrambled eggs. I don't need anything making me dumber. Sammy said, once you like a cat video and then the algorithm gets dark and starts showing you cat abuse. Oh no, for real though. like, I like cute cat videos, but it'll be like, a lot of times it'll be like, we found this cat and it was like in a really bad way and blah blah blah, and it's like, I don't really want to see that, like. So yeah, the algorithm isn't hitting for me at this moment in time. I hope it gets better, because I also joined Threads a couple of days ago just to see what that was like, and all of, like, it's just people complaining about the algorithm on Instagram and how their content isn't doing as well anymore. I know that it's tailored to the casual user, but what these social media platforms don't understand is that they are built upon creators, and like, creators on Instagram that have done nothing but produce art for Instagram, now we're being pushed aside like this. It's really disappointing, because we're the ones that made Instagram good, like people posting their art, people posting pictures. It sucks for artists as well, because now artists have to make reels of them drawing, and before they could just post their nice art and people like it, but now no one sees it unless they do like a work in progress video or something like that. And it takes so much time on top of already creating art. It's just making it stressful, and I imagine making people just want to quit. All hears me said, it's not smart AI that's scary right now. It's the fact that corporate is already overusing dumb AI. The thing is as well is like, AI is making artists want to quit. It's also making it harder for artists, because now regular artists are being accused of being AI. So they have to post like step-by-step images of them working on their thing. Otherwise people will think it's AI. It's just like so much stress on artists right now. I'm so glad that I'm not doing just like pure illustration. It's sad, honestly. Sarah said, so true about Threads. It's like the Instagram grievances app. It's so funny, the fact that it's connected to Meta. Threads is great. I think I don't even know who I'm following. I assume it's whoever I'm following on Instagram, but it shows me like tons of stuff, things I would be interested in, and it's people complaining about the algorithm. Every other post is people asking if they can make money from Threads, and then there's a lot of people complaining about Japan, and it's great. I see so many people complaining about living in Japan, and this is stuff that like, if you posted this on Twitter, you would just get like shredded. You would get torn to bits. But for some reason on Threads, it seems like people can have an open conversation about Japan there and not get like trolled. So that's good. That's something else I want to talk about. There was a thing on Twitter today, which was like, this girl tweeted that she applied to 20 houses or 20 apartments, and she got turned down for all 20 because she's a foreigner. And she just said like, oh, this is like a little bit annoying, and she was tweeting about it, and she got trolled so hard by people, and that were like, oh, well, like, it's their country if they don't want to rent to foreigners and blah blah blah, and just like the general dumb knuckle dragging far right nonsense that you regularly encounter on Twitter is just like disappointing. I didn't even like, this is how I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to like not get into Twitter arguments. I didn't even touch it. I'm like, I'm not even gonna bother. Like, Jesus. Like, I'm so tired of like getting into arguments on Twitter with like people, like foreigners who live in Japan, who have no self-respect. The fact that they're like, well, if they don't want to rent to us, then yeah, that's fine. That's their right. Like, blah blah blah. It's like, well, I generally believe that people, like, if you invite us to work in your country, we should at least be able to have like housing. Like, that should be like the bare minimum. Like, we should be able to rent a place. Like, maybe not like every place. Like, I understand, but the fact that they applied to 20 places and they got turned down by 20 places is wild. Meeple said, and now they are feeding our posts the AI. Oh my god, that's the only funny thing, is that like the AI has consumed so much like images on the internet that it's going background and it's consuming AI. So those posts on Facebook are getting more and more unhinged. It's like, there was one of like Jesus doing 9/11. Like, I guess like, if you keep feeding these images into AI, it's gonna come up with like wild, awful things. So like, it's a bad time. Pinterest is the best app now. Just vibes. I've never used Pinterest. Maybe I should use it. That's what I mean. I sucks that like everyone's having to like. Remember when everyone was on like Blue Sky and this other app? Like people just want a nice place where they can talk openly without getting sent death threats, and where like it's generally you talk with someone and they're probably gonna be human, and that like you post like. People want to post something and someone see it. Like, I have like 56,000 followers on Instagram. If I post something, I want like a few thousand people to see it at least, right? Glitch said, I draw on stream a lot. That's really nice. So yeah, taking a small art break though, because wrist strain. Aw. Ajo said, that's why I didn't upload TikTok on my phone. I don't want to increase my time on the phone. Yeah, my thing is Reddit. I need to delete Reddit. It's like, I'm reading these AI generated posts of like, am I the asshole for punching my cousin? And it's always like some bullshit. And I fall for it every time. I'm as bad. Like, you know what like that Garfield t-shirt said? You are not immune to propaganda. And I really am not immune to propaganda. Oki said, the other day I got a notification on Twitter about someone from another country entering my account. Oh my god. Yeah, that happened to me. My Facebook was hacked by someone in Vietnam, and I guess maybe it was a bot because they posted like a bunch of like not safe for work images, and my Facebook and Instagram both got banned for like a month. And I had to go through so many steps because unless your stuff gets banned, you probably won't realize that you can't contact Meta. Like, there's no way to contact them. So it was like a pain. I had to like threaten them legally to get my accounts back. It was wild. Glitch said, I might have another donut soon, to be honest. Please give me a donut. I'm actually quite hungry. I deleted Reddit and it really helps protect your peace. Yeah, Reddit just makes me mad. Like, honestly, a lot of it, like, all the posts are people who are getting cheated on, people who are being disrespected, people are getting fired. It's just really just, like, a lot of sad people. And it does affect me negatively. And I always read it before I go to sleep, and then maybe that's not helping me with my nightmares. So maybe I need to, like, stop that. There is some interesting stuff. There is some good news stuff on Reddit, and there's like a lot of people's genuine opinions on there, but then again, we don't know how much of it is just bots anyways. I love how this stream was so hyper political and like borderline tinfoil hat levels. But yeah, I really think now we have to be a little bit more aware of how much time we're spending on certain apps and if we really should be, because a lot of these apps are really bad for our mental health and are just not like enriching us in any way. Like, that's why I deleted TikTok. I was like, I'm not learning anything. I'm just laughing at like really dumb jokes for hours on end. And it does give you dopamine, but it gives you dopamine for like a second and then it wears off and then you start feeling bad again. Oki said, I didn't care if my Facebook gets hacked. I haven't used it in years. Still has my dead name. Damn. Yeah, my Facebook still has my last name on there. Is still the name of my ex-fiance. So I gotta like change that. I don't really use Facebook. I only use it to like talk with my two remaining family members on. So I don't really use it. And like to keep up with what my high school friends are doing. But I don't really use it. I feel like most people our age don't really use Facebook anymore. And again, it's all like AI art and like weird like minion memes. And it's mostly boomers that use Facebook, I feel like, these days. Bring back MySpace, that's what I say. Although honestly, I did like MySpace. I liked how customizable it was, but I hated you had to rank your friends. That was like Satan invented that. I hated that you had to have a number one friend, a number two friend. Honestly, awful, terrible design. Glitch said, oh no, I had a period once where I ditched Twitter for almost a whole year. I bet that was like the best year of your life. okay followers and a couple well-known ones too, but it was too much. Sadly, Facebook is the main way I contact most of my friends. My Facebook is 100% queer old people and a few family members. Yeah, that's the only thing, like, honestly, is just, like, cultivating your online space to cater to you. Which is hard because, like, I don't want to live in, like, an echo chamber. And I sometimes find myself in that because, obviously, I'm very, very left-leaning. And so if I see people post something stupidly right-wing, I tend to just block them. I don't want to end up in, like, too much of an echo chamber, but also that can be a little bit more comfortable. Because, honestly, a lot of, like, Twitter in particular, there's every day everyone has the worst takes imaginable. And just seeing them rots my brain. Like, I take psychic damage from some of the takes that people have. Like, today with that person who complained that, like, rightfully, that they were upset that they weren't getting an apartment because they were turned down for being foreign. So many of the comments were just so stupid. Just like, well, like, it's because foreigners have left their apartment in a bad situation before, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, I get that, but, like, Japanese people do that too. And also, we have, like, if you apply for an apartment, you need to go through a guarantor agency. So actually the landlord, if anything happens, it's like, if I completely trash this apartment, if I trash my house and left, if I just dipped, that would be a really shitty thing to do. But actually the guarantor company would pay the landlord. So the landlord wouldn't actually come off poorly from this. And nor would the guarantor company, honestly, because honestly that's their job. Oh yeah, my old Facebook account still has my married name. Oh my god, that's the sucky thing, is like changing names on these accounts. Meagle said, only started Reddit for the art commission and people kept ghosting me. Yeah, a lot of scammers, honestly. That's another thing. If you type on Twitter like that you've been hacked, you immediately have all these bots that, like, oh, if you contact blah blah blah, he will get your account back. And if you type that you're looking for a commission, you'll get all these bots that are like, oh, this person will make this for you, blah blah blah. It's like, there's a lot of bots. You gotta be really careful. Very easy to get scammed unless you are a little bit self-aware. Alki said, left and right are so polarized. I can't trust a right-wing person online to not just straight up be discriminatory. There is no nuance. Yeah, that's the thing, is like, the issue is like, if they start saying like alt-right things, it only gets worse. And when people do that, it always ends up terribly. It always ends up like wishing death upon people. It never ends up well. Like, there have been people in the past where they said something and I'm like, oh, well, maybe they didn't mean it like that, and I let it go. And then you find out later on down the line that they will say something so out of pocket, and you're like, damn, okay, actually you wish death upon people. Hello, RSSYNG. We had like a very good political stream. It was like pretty heated actually. Vermilion said, I'm back with lunch. What are you eating for lunch? We're still talking about politics a little bit. Okay, so maybe I can say here, don't tell anyone, but there was this girl I used to hang out with a few times who was American, and she had like, she would say some like bad takes, and I kind of let it slide because they weren't too much. And like, she was very privileged, and she was always like, I don't know, like, well, homeless people are homeless because they're lazy or something like that. And I'm like, damn, okay, that's like pretty bad. But for some reason, I let a couple of these slide because I'm like, I don't know, like, I'm not American, maybe, and people are entitled to some of their own opinions. And what else did she say? She said a few things that are kind of like dodgy. Like, she would always fight us about universal healthcare. Like, she believed that like, if people want healthcare, they should just go private. It's like, okay, but like, most people can't afford that. But it was just like dumb stuff like this. But a lot of it I let slide. And I remember one day it was just me and her, and we were alone, and she unprompted said that like Japan deserved the things that happened in World War II. And I was so shocked. I didn't know what to say, and I just kind of like didn't say anything, and I kind of just like stopped hanging out with her after that. It was like a slow decline, but I was like, Jesus Christ. And now I have people start saying these little like right-wing sound bites. I just tend to just cut them off, because it's like a slippery slope. It only gets worse from there. Uwe said, was she white? What do you think? Of course she was. And it was sad because like she came from a very privileged background, very, very privileged, and it's sad that she used that privilege to want to shit on people below her, instead of thinking, well, you know, maybe we could help homeless people or people who are on drugs or blah blah blah. Instead, like, all of her, she was of the mindset that like if you were poor then you were lazy. But it's weird because she also didn't really have a job. She was just like surviving off of her parents' money. And it's just like, I noticed that in Japan I encounter a lot of these people, and because I'm like a white influencer who does like Japanese fashion and stuff like that, I meet a lot of these people who come here, and they're not just white either. There's a lot of like Asians who are like very, very rich and very, very privileged, and that's fine. But they have such a weird view on anyone who makes less money than them or has less than them. And it's just very strange to me, because like I've never been like super, super privileged, but I feel like I am quite privileged for a lot of things, and that makes me wanna, you know, I think like we should uplift people rather than push them down. I don't know, it's just a weird, I don't understand why these people have these mindsets. Maybe they get it from their parents, I don't know. But honestly, my parents had a lot of bad opinions about stuff, but I just didn't copy them. Jesus Christ, classic. Yeah, it was very disappointing. And I have encountered a lot of people like that. I feel like less so these days. I'm kind of better at rooting these kind of people out. I tend to not hang out with people that are incredibly rich. I went out yesterday with a photographer that I did a shoot with recently, and he paid for us, me and the other models, and we were talking about doing another photo shoot in the next few months, and he bought us like loads of like really expensive sushi at the Hilton, which was great, and he bought like champagne and stuff. It was nice, but then like he would just talk about American politics, because honestly I did ask him, but a lot of his views again were just like terrible, just like homeless people are lazy, and like he's like, if people like, oh no, there shouldn't be like, American healthcare system is fine because, you know, it's your responsibility to take care of your own body, and if you fail at doing that, then it's your own fault for getting sick. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, most people who get like cancer and stuff like that, that's like they just get it. It's not because they were unhealthy. Like, it's a complete lottery. Like, honestly, I know people that have smoked their whole lives and lived to be 100 years old, and I know people that are perfectly healthy that got really, really sick. So it's like such a terrible opinion to have, and like this is someone with a lot of money. It's just really, really disappointing. People said exactly, sometimes they don't let you post art for no reason. That's true. Yeah, Reddit is also just really confusing to use. I read Reddit a lot, but I've not ever once posted on Reddit. I don't know, Reddit doesn't make you want to post there. Dominion said, surely the American healthcare system is fine. Yeah, like, I was surprised when he said that, because, like, honestly, I don't think any system, like, any healthcare system in the world, you can't say, oh yeah, this is fine. Like, everything needs to be improved. Like, the NHS in England needs to be improved. Like, the NHS is great, but it needs to be improved so much. The one in Japan, honestly, I love the healthcare system in Japan. It can be a little bit expensive sometimes, but compared to America, super, super cheap. The level of care that you receive is pretty good. However, you can improve it. Like, let's try to make everything better for everyone continually. It was said Japan did do some wild stuff during World War II, but that does not warrant dropping nuclear bombs on civilians. Yeah, honestly, very, very true. Again, the people that get hurt from this is always civilians, and yeah, there's no like we should not be celebrating people getting bombed in any country. That's my hot take. But yeah, I think I will probably stop this stream in like 5 or 10 minutes because I did not eat dinner yet, and I think tonight we're gonna have like meatballs or something, and I do need to do a little bit of work on my tablet for the fashion brand. So let me know if you guys have any questions you want to ask before I head off. And this stream's honestly been really, really great. Like honestly, we got to talk quite in depth about politics, and I feel like this is quite a safe space. I wouldn't say a lot of the things that we said tonight on Twitter, but honestly we didn't say anything bad. It was just like people deserve to have a house and healthcare. Like that's our controversial take, and our governments should stop entering us into wars that we don't want to be in. Oki said, the actions of the army is not the responsibility of the civilians. I love this so much. Honestly, because like people honestly don't know what their armies are doing. Like a lot of war crimes, we'll even never find out about them, and that's terrifying. Meatball said, thanks for the stream, Bun. I was having a rough day. It really helped me. I'm sorry you had a rough day, and I hope that tomorrow will be much better. Thank you for coming to my stream. Yeah. Tomorrow is usually better if you're having a rough day. Vermilion said, I think there was some protesting about the Japanese royal family visiting the UK. I didn't know that. That's quite interesting because the Japanese royal family is very similar to the British royal family in the fact that they don't really do anything. They go into like some engagements, they have some fancy dinners, they invest in charities and stuff like that. But honestly, it's funny because like the really hard right-wing faction in Japan, they believe that the power of the country should go to the emperor, and they're very pro-monarchy and pro-emperor. And the funny thing is the emperor doesn't want this power. The emperor wants to, what's it called? Not resign. What's it called when a monarch steps down? Abdicate. He wants to abdicate, yeah. Yay, good night guys. Thank you so much. I had a wonderful stream. Yeah. Have a wonderful evening. Everyone sleep well, and please join me and see you next one. Bye.